Filippo, so welcome to our interviews here at GITEX 2025. I'd like to start first by asking you to introduce yourself. Give us your name, your title, and a short description of your job role. Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. So my name is Filippo Monticelli. I'm based in Italy, but managing a complex region, which we call International Emerging in Fortinet. That means all the markets spanning from Eastern Europe, Africa, Middle East. It's quite a large area, lots of diversity and fragmentation, but an exciting market to work for.
Fantastic. So let's go to this level of what is the role that cybersecurity vendors play on the global scene. And in that, there's you collaborate with a lot of institutions, you collaborate with research institutions and so on. Give us an idea of how Fortinet is going about in this area of balancing innovation, compliance, and collaboration. Go ahead, please.
Absolutely. It's our job, especially in fast-growing areas like Middle East, we're leading the way in cybersecurity and digital transformation, is acting as a global company, but working locally. That means establishing a relationship with local government entities, enterprise, local partners, telcos, service providers. Our approach is to build our teams locally so that they support the local ecosystem. And that's actually, requires investments, not just in people, but also in technology. So another thing that we do in order to make sure that we balance innovation, with managing risk is and compliance is investing locally in local POPs, working with telco providers, with co-location agreements, so that we basically deliver our solutions and services in line with local regulation and compliance requirements.
Very interesting. Let's go to the regional ecosystem over here, which has the governments pushing for innovation, which has the governments pushing for compliance and locally hosted data and things like that. So how do you look at it from a Fortinet point of view? We operate globally. How do you see the regional ecosystem developing and maturing over here? Go ahead, please.
Well, I think it's been an amazing journey. What I've seen in the last couple of years, maybe I can summarize it with one thing I heard this morning. And by the way, if you have a chance, go and listen to Samantha Altman's interview. They were speaking live at 9 o'clock this morning together with the CEO of G42. The impact, for instance, of new technologies like AI in Middle East and the acceleration of the digitalization of the government ecosystem, for instance, it's just amazing. It's the developments around technology and the adoption of innovative technology here is just outstanding, and it's showing the way to the rest of the world on how to do this securely, how to adopt innovative technology with a secure approach.
Fantastic. So, especially in this region, like you just said, the emphasis on AI is quite strong, from the government to the public sectors down to the private sectors. So, when organizations adopt AI, especially like whenever they adopt new digital technologies, there is expansion of the attack surface, increasing vulnerabilities, and of course, various other challenges. How would you actually summarize this whole AI adoption journey? Go ahead.
Well, AI is really a double-edged sword. So on one end, it can be a great tool helping us, assisting, automating a lot of activities, analysis, responding, enabling our security operating centers, for instance, to respond to threats. On the other hand, it's leveraged by our, hackers community.
Yes.
To a great extent.
Correct.
So it's a matter of balancing and staying at the forefront. And as Fortinet, we provide the technology. We have a framework, our FortiAI framework, enabling from enterprise customers to telcos to managed service provider to leverage this framework.
Okay, fantastic. So, if you expand this to the overall adoption journey of digital transformation, right? What happens when organizations adopt digital transformation? Typically, is it the internal risk? Is it the external risk? Is it the supply chain risk? What are the types of challenges and compliance steps they need to go through?
Well, I think that, one of the biggest risks and issues for enterprise companies, especially when they adopt AI, is the risk of fragmentation. So to run at the speed of business and react and make sure that the IT teams develop the new solution and integrate the AI technology into innovative ways into the business opens up to new threats potentially, and also opens up to the fact that each single instance of new technology needs a protection layer. So the big risk is that companies stratify new protection layers within their environments without a holistic and comprehensive approach. And that's what we try to do as Fortinet with our security fabric approach. We're providing and enabling customers to have the technology to do this holistically and avoid this fragmentation issue.
Fantastic. Now, obviously, Fortinet is scanning the environment and making its own assessment of the threat level of the risk. But some of the threats are, let's say, under the radar. I mean, you tend to miss it. So from the Fortinet point of view, what would be your recommendations about such threats that slip in under the radar, as you can put?
Well, there's, maybe it's considered a hot topic, but for instance, if we talk about quantum security or post-quantum security, everybody thinks on one hand it's a hot topic, but on the other hand, it's often dismissed. A lot of companies see this as something still far out, and it's not really understood that we need to act now. So that is, let's say, a big risk. Acting now and avoiding the phenomenon, for instance, of HANDL, that stands for harvest now, decrypt later. That is something that should be top of mind for CISOs today in large enterprise companies.
Fantastic. Thank you very, very much, Filippo, for spending your time with us over here. Look forward to keeping track with Fortinet's trends. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.